Right, this is a quick one because I've got to go to the train station and see if I can use my train tickets a bit later than I booked it for. If I can, I'm going to go and look at make a few more videos today. If not, it doesn't really matter. I may come back here at some stage. I like Bristol. I've just winged this. I just want to show people this. It just started raining, so all the ground's wet. We've got puddles there. Everywhere's soaking wet. So as I was walking up the road, I'm still just down from where I was earlier, where I've just made the last video. But as I was walking up the road, it started raining, and I took refuge under this little bit here, the Marriott Hotel. Another stunning piece of architecture. All the detail of the 18th century. So there you go. Same blocks. Block work. The block work is there. But what I stumbled upon as I just jumped under here to get a bit of shelter, because there's a thing here, and like I said, I'm winging it. I just wing it. So sorry, there's just people walking past. But as I was stood here, I noticed this. This looks like block work. But what this is render. Made to look like stone. Even has a bead on it. This is done at a later date. So it's got a bead on the corner. And it's had lines just drawn on it that make it look like the stones are fused together. But that is just render. Same on the inside of that, all the way up. Looks like stone. Individually carved stones, when all it is render. Made to look like stone. I walk up here. This looks more like stone. But I have a funny feeling it even has joints in it that you could barely touch. It's dead smooth. In fact, I'm nearly certain that some of this, now looking at it as I'm talking, is concrete mould. I'm nearly certain of some of this is just concrete mould and not carved. And then it's placed into place. Again, looks like individual blocks. Looks like blocks of stone, when in fact it could well be concrete cast that is put into place. I know a lot of the metal work like this, and a lot of the old metal work that you see around, using the statues that are all around. Again, all the statues in the cities of Great Britain equals that of the ancient monuments. Now, just because they look slightly bigger, they're bigger, doesn't mean they're not constructed exactly the same way. Now that could be carved, I don't know. Or is it a concrete mould? I think this is cast iron. I think that's cast iron, which again would be put into moulds and used. Again, you can make things look very stone-like to fool people. While I'm here, quickly, I might as well get this in. I've got to go to the train station. I've got a load of photos. I may not have to make the video anyway. I did want to go to the Clifton Suspension Bridge, but because it was raining, I couldn't be bothered to get wet. I'm not feeling 100%, and I just took shelter there. And with my own eyes, because I've mentioned it to myself, I'm now looking at it, and as I'm talking, it becomes more clear. Just like when I start looking at the trees, I start to pay attention to them a lot more, and I start to see more and more and more. Now this is the cathedral, I think, of Bristol, or one of them. Look at the architecture, look at the engineering. All 18th century, I think. I don't know the date. Let's see if I can find a date on it. But again, pre-war, pre-motorised vehicle, pre-world travel. Just look at the detail in everything. I'll take some pictures. I've taken pictures. I'm sure everyone's been to a cathedral and seen. And next time, if you go near one, take a look yourself. But yeah, let me have a look to see if I can find a date on this. Yeah, I just want to, again, I'm not a fan of churches. I don't like what they stand for, but I've always been a fan of the architecture and the detail of it all. And the windows, the stained glass windows, and all the stonework, and the way, just, it's immense. The skills, the technology, the engineering, and the building techniques done without modern engines, modern cranes. Oh, a lot of this to me, looking at it now, looks like concrete block to me. Very well made concrete blocks. Again, if I come here, it is literally, when you rub your hand over it, you can barely feel a fucking lump in it, a wobble. It looks like large lumps of stone. Is it large lumps of stone? Or concrete? I don't know. Certainly when you look at bits like that where it's damaged, to me that is exactly the same as what old concrete looks like. So are they concrete? Is it natural stone? Is it stone that was used on all the ancient monuments around this country and around the world? Or is it concrete precast? It looks to me like concrete precast, where if you look at the damage on there. Just quickly I met a bloke when I was working in New Zealand as a tiler, and he was a tiler at the time, but he was a master mason, and He'd worked on a lot of the cathedrals and restoration projects around the country, and he literally put these tiles up on the wall and then drew a picture on the wall with a grinder. Oh, it looked a bollocks. Pure skill. Obviously, I think he penciled it on. He was an artist. But regardless of whether that's precast concrete, what it is, I don't know. But to look at it like this, it's been weathered. So you get the weathering of it on there. It looks like individual stone blocks. It could well be concrete that is then sanded somehow. Again, what the technologies were, what happened to all the knowledge, I don't know. But the detail on everything and the ironwork, even like I said, a lot of the cast ironwork, the detail in it is immense. Are they carved or are they concrete mould? It's debatable. It's certainly debatable. Right, I'm going to cut the video there. So yeah, I've learned something myself, a few things today about it all that I didn't know before I even started making the videos. Not even on Saturday did I notice that. It just when I make the question, I then seek the answer. If you don't ask the questions, you won't get any answers, will you? A population of parrots that don't ask questions, just repeat the information given to them by their owners without any rational thought process to anything, even their own words that come out of their own mouths. Regardless of what it is, concrete, precast, natural stone, whatever, the engineering and the capabilities of the 18th century was immense, and you had a population and a world that didn't travel anywhere more than where they worked, because there was no motorized vehicles, and what they called the peasants, which would be the workers, weren't allowed to travel, had no means to travel. So nobody knows what was around the world until after the Second World War, when they opened up the worldwide asylum. My claim is that they took the masons and their apprentices from around the world and built the ancient monuments. Just before they opened up the asylum, like I said, one, it proves the religion of Abraham with the building of the pyramids because of the story of the Egyptians and Moses, and then at a later date, which they are now using in the alien bullshit fucking conspiracy, that they were the builders of the ancient monuments. That is becoming more and more relevant, along with the science bullshit and space bullshit. That is just trickery, a complete load of bollocks, fraud to fool dumb little fucked in the head wacko mental patients that don't question, don't reason, don't look, don't open their own eyes to their own surroundings, and just repeat every little bit of information given to them by their owners via the media. And they are in complete control of the media. That's why they installed the media network after the Second World War, for the next stage of the evolution of the slave. Right, I need to delete some videos. That'll do. Whether I make any more today, I don't know. Either or, we'll see. If I can get a later train, I might go to the Clifton Bridge. If not, I won't.